Look at that. We're live. I don't know if anyone's watching, but we're live. Is that so exciting, Teo? Let's see if we can put it on the TV. Letting me do it. There it goes. Yay! Okay, that's annoying. I have to do a system update. That's really annoying. You're moving the stool? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if anyone's watching this or not, but hello and welcome. We've decided to run some trains and we thought we'd go live because it's fun. So if you're in the chat and you can hear me, then yeah, say hello. Let me fix this container. How did that get like that? There we go. That's looking nice. I'm just doing an update on the PlayStation. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Jacob. How are you guys doing? My son and I just thought we'd just come downstairs and run some trains for a little bit. And it's fun to include people. You want to come sit down?
I don't want to sit down.
Okay. You don't have to sit down. I'm also doing well, Jacob. So currently, I'm in the process of planning a expansion, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I have a basic idea as far as the track plan goes and how I'm going to attach to the existing layout that you see here, but the issue that I'm having is that a lot of my existing curves are too tight and I can't run anything longer than a reefer car. I just did a video last week of doing graffiti on an N-scale refrigerator car, this one here. I don't know if you saw the video or not, but let me see if I can see that. Hold on one second. Yeah, this car right here. And my curves are too tight, and it uncouples the other cars. It goes around it fine, but because it's body mounted couplers and they're way far from the trucks, it uncouples the car on either end of it when it goes around the curve. So I have to do some very serious cosmetic surgery. Hey F40, what's going on, buddy? I stole a page out of your playbook and I'm running trains live. I figure why not? I'm gonna run them anyway. I might as well include you guys. Oh, need a little bit of help up the grade there. Track's a little dirty in that corner. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna rework the existing layout to have wider curves. Like the outer loops, like the curve it's going around right now is no problem. And then there's a similar curve on the other end of the layout. And both of those are not a problem, but it's the inner loop that's a bit too tight. I was actually talking to... Yeah, I'm a thief. What were we just talking about in my last video about stealing ideas? But no, I was talking to Chris from Go Via or Go Home, and he was suggesting that I just widen my existing layout by about a foot. It's still going to take some pretty serious work, but at least that way I can rework some of the curves. At the sound of it, it's pretty much going to mean that I'm going to have to I'm going to have to relay my entire main line at this point, if that's what I do. There might be a few sections that stay, but oh well. Maybe find a way to put a bearing or hinge on the coupling housing of the cars to assist. Oh, that's an idea. I could look into that for sure. See, the thing with N-scale, I don't know if any of you guys are N-scale, if you want to put in the chat what you model. But with N-scale, a lot of cars, like any of the shorter ones anyway, are truck-mounted couplers instead of body-mounted, which I know in HO scale is a big no-no. Everybody hates that, but it seems to be the standard with N-scale. So I'm fine with it. Like, I know a lot of guys will switch it over, but I haven't really bothered because it's a lot of work and I don't care too much as long as they run nice. But when you get into the longer cars, and I mean, I'd love on the new expansion, I'm gonna have a really long run. I'm gonna have about a 20-foot run. So I'd love to be able to run double stacks and auto racks and things like that. And right now, with the curves that I have, one of my engines loses power there because it's dirty track, so then they start squealing. But yeah, I'd love to be able to run the longer cars. Truck-mounted couplers are a pain. Yeah, in HO especially, they're a pain. I know when my brother was first starting out, we were always cursing the truck-mounted couplers. Truck-mounted couplers and plastic wheels. Tail, come here. You want to come say hi to the live? So I have my son with me. He's my consultant. When I have ideas for the layout, I run it by him because he seems to know what he's talking about. All that really matters if you're having... Are you having fun, Teo?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so then I guess that's all that really matters. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, Roy, how's it going? Yeah, it does, you say truck mounted in N scale is pretty easy and it allows for tighter curves. That's true. The only way I can run. I didn't even know they made auto racks with truck mounted couplers. Been body mounting couplers in N scale for several years now. Longer cars are problematic to say the least. Hey Dwight, hey Dave. Yeah, no, it's kind of a catch-22 because it's like, do you go through all of that work to be prototypical, and then ultimately you run the risk of having more issues with longer cars, or do you just say screw it and run your truck mounted couplers. I've chosen to be the person that says whatever my car comes with is what I run, except for I'm switching everything over to metal wheels. It keeps bogging down in that one spot. I gotta clean that track there. Let me do that real quick. MTL and Concours ones are truck mounted by default. I'll have to check those out, Roy, because I want to get... I don't have any auto racks. I had one at one point, and I knew, like, that was before I had ever planned on expanding. And I said, you know what? I'm never going to be able to run this on my layout, so I just graffitied it and sold it. That tends to be what I do with stuff that I don't run anymore. Either I graffiti it or weather it or both, and then I sell it. It works out as inventory, right? But, yeah, so I haven't gotten any auto racks yet, but I'll definitely keep those ones in mind. I'm going to see if I can't clean this track real quick. Taylor, you want to tell the live about the layout? What's going on the layout?
I don't want to tell the live about the layout.
Why not?
You can do it.
I can do it?
Yeah.
I know I can do it, but so can you.
I don't want to do that, Daddy.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
I just want to jump down, Daddy.
Okay, jump down. So, what I'm using to clean my track is, honestly, I'm just using a piece of washer to scrape the dirt off the top of the rails. Generally, I do it with the power off, so I can just run it flat across the rails, but when trains are running, you kind of have to be finicky. Hey, Daveco. Oh, you wanted to pop in and say hey. Hey! Lots of people talking. 4 auto racks. Hi, Daveco. Hi. James is going to the hobby store later. Which one? Aren't you in the GTA? Probably going to Credit Valley. That place is awesome. It's still... I don't know why it's bogging down there. Anyway, that piece of track is going away. Part of my expansion. The layout is looking awesome. Thanks, Dave. I'm planning some cosmetic surgery. That's kind of what we're doing here. Hey, Karen. Yeah, so the plan as of right now, I wonder if I can... Oh, Paris Junction. Okay, so you're not fully in the GTA. Where's Paris Junction? Is that in Paris, Ontario? I've never heard of that store. But let me widen out the camera, and I'll give you guys a bit of a rundown of what my plan is. Need some like hold music or something. Alright, so I'm gonna switch to this view right now. Paris, Ontario. I've never been to Paris, Ontario. I should go one day. I need a pointer stick.
Daddy?
Yes, Hale?
Let me go upstairs.
You're gonna go upstairs?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a part of this live anymore?
I'm gonna go upstairs and then come back downstairs to your trainer.
Okay. Do I ever plan on getting a Go train? You know, I've thought about it. I think if I was to get passenger, it would be Via. but I don't know that I will. The reason for that is mostly just because I run pretty fictional, and I know when you, as soon as you run Go, it's like, oh hey, you run in the GTA or in Southern Ontario. I want to be able to have that freedom of being able to run whatever I want, and also, I've never really liked running passenger trains. It's not, to me, the operation of it is not as fun as running freight. But that's just me. I'm using DCC. I'm using Digitrax. I have a Digitrax Zephyr. The old one. I don't know. I know they've come out with a new one now. But anyway, I have my pointer stick. So, as of right now, I have a double main, and you can see the train going around the back here. It comes around this way, and down a downgrade, and then back through here, and then through a tunnel underneath itself, and then comes around, and then back up again. So what my plan is, are all those locos powered? Yes, they are, until they hit dirty track. There's one spot that's real finicky for some reason, and my lead engine cuts out. And then the other two have to try and push it, and they have no luck. But anyway, like I said, this piece of track is going to go away. So what my plan is to start here and curve out this way, off screen, to the right. And that's going to go to my expansion, which is going to go 20 feet, a straight run 20 feet to the other end of my basement, and go around a corner and come back. And when it comes back, it's going to come back into this corner and then tie in over here. So all of this is going to get ripped out. Now the problem that I'm having, I mentioned it earlier, but for those of you just tuning in, I want to be able to run reefer cars and auto racks and things like that, which are a lot longer. And right in here, whenever I run the reefer car that I graffitied in my last video, whenever I run that car, it always uncouples, or not uncouples, but it derails the car in front of it, right in this corner here. So it's just a little bit tight, and keeping in mind, that is my outer loop. I haven't even tried to run my inner loop lately, because it's just a little bit too tight. So my plan is, I'm still thinking about it. I was talking to my brother last night, and he said to just start over. But I can't bring myself to that just yet. That it's an option that's on the table, but I really don't want to do that. So, I'm debating adding a foot on this side of the layout to widen it, and then shifting everything over, which will then widen this curve and this curve. The curve at the far back over here, on the lower level, is not a problem. I hope you guys like my broomstick, by the way. Dwight, oh. You taking off, Dwight? Or is it James that's leaving? Anyway, bye someone. But, yeah, so that curve is not a problem. And then any curve that I build from now on, I'm going to make sure is wide enough for any curve that I build from now on the expansion. I'm going to make sure is wide enough for longer trains and longer cars. But for right now, I have to deal with these inner loops. Best broomstick Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, rainbow trains. My battery died. That happens sometimes. I need to get a dummy battery so I can plug my camera into the wall when I'm doing lives and stuff like that. But yeah, Mark Bennett, Camera Crisis. There is no affiliate link for this broom handle. I got it at the dollar store. I got it at Dollar and More, which is a little better than Dollarama, I would say, because they have it's almost like a modern day Byway. They have a lot of cool stuff there, including this awesome broom handle, which if you don't have this broom handle, the next time I talk to you, there's a problem because you're missing out in life. But guys, I want to shout out Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis because if any of you guys have a channel and you're looking to up your camera game, this guy knows his stuff, and he'll be sure to teach you guys what you need to know about cameras. Hey Kevin, how's it going? Welcome. I was just telling these guys that you want me to rip apart my layout and start fresh. I'm not interested. Yeah, it's not sponsored by the dollar store. That would be cool though, because the dollar store has a lot of great stuff. But yeah, so we're just discussing future layout plans. You said I might have to. I'm thinking of taking the route of extreme cosmetic surgery rather than starting over. Mark knows so much about cameras. Affiliate links below. Yes. Mark is the camera guy. But yeah, so does anybody else have any kind of suggestions for me? Because I'm at a bit of a loss. Oh, I seem to be uncoupled from my lead engine. That happens about every 10 laps. There we go.
I'm gonna make his wings bigger, okay, Daddy?
Okay. Teo's over here playing with old cameras. My son is here. He's helping me out today. By helping me out, I mean he's keeping me company. Dwight says 2 levels. If I owned the place, maybe, but I'm in a rental, so I don't want to go too crazy and then have to move. But yeah, I'd love to go 2 levels one day. The thing that I love about N scale, I don't want to get into a huge debate over scale, but the thing that I love about N scale is that you can fit so much in the same amount of space. So that's one of the reasons why I started with N scale from the jump. I mean, I would have loved to go HO, but I still would have only had a 4x8 table. And that's not very much HO. And then now I'm just committed to it, and I'm just gonna run as much as I can, or build as much as I can in the space that I have. And then when I move, I'll build again, build bigger, stronger, better, faster. Teo, Uncle Kevin says hi. He's in the chat right now. You want to say hi to him?
I don't want to say hi to Uncle Kevin.
No? Why not? Do you want to FaceTime him?
I'm gonna go upstairs and then I'm gonna come back down here from your trainer.
Okay. Oh, Auntie Karen says hi too.
I'm gonna go upstairs first and then I'm gonna get these cards.
Okay. The attention span of a 3-year-old? uh, it's good fun. I love bringing my kids down here. They get a kick out of it. It's I'm proud to say that one of my daughter's first words is trains. It's not her first word, but it's up there. And she gets pretty excited whenever she sees trains. What are you doing, Teo?
I'm gonna put this camera on.
Okay. Okay. So we make a lot of videos in this house. I have this channel, of course, and more importantly, my wife has a channel all about motherhood. It's called Couch Mom Club. I don't know if I've plugged it to you guys or not, or if you've heard me talk about it before. But she posts 4 times a week all about motherhood and raising our kids and just family adventures and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. So we make a ton of videos in this house, because between her channel and mine, that's 5+ videos a week. And so the kids know about cameras. So I have a couple of film cameras around the house that are just decorations. They don't work anymore. They're all broken and busted up and whatever. They just kind of look nice on a shelf. But my son Teo has grown very fond of them, and he'll walk around the house pretending to make videos all day, which is a lot of fun. And when I told him that we were going to make a video about trains today, he was all excited to come downstairs. And of course, that excitement lasted about 10 minutes. We didn't even get the live going yet, and he was over it. But he'll be back. He'll go upstairs, play with toys for a little bit, and then he'll come back downstairs. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think I should do? I'm at a bit of a loss. I don't want to start over. But it's in the books. Oh man. I've never done a live before on my own, so if I'm running out of things to say, you'll know why. I'm just reading back in the chat, F40. It's so true. The SD70 was like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. It happens sometimes. For some reason, I don't know if it's because the other two are laboring a little bit and then the coupler breaks off. Not breaks, but just kind of loses its grip. And then it just kind of... But it always happens in the same spot on the layout, every single time. And the funny thing about trains is that they can go around all day long. No stopping them. They'll just run all day, no issues. And then 1 second is, and it's usually as soon as you turn your back. As soon as you turn your back, something derails or uncouples or crashes into itself or some kind of crazy catastrophe. But Kevin, you're saying you want to come and brainstorm. Yeah, anytime. Come on over. What I want to do is I want to get my bench work in for my new piece, and then we'll just go from there. A friend of mine gave me 3 solid doors that are completely flat. They're 28 inches wide by 90 inches long. And 2 2/3 of them will get me the length that I need to get to the corner. And then with the existing piece and the plywood that I have in reserve and all of that stuff, I'll be able to complete the loop to go back on itself. And that should be good. All I have to buy is a few 2x3s and I'll be set. Which doesn't seem as daunting anymore because it seems like lumber prices are going down again in Ontario, which is fantastic. That's the only reason. So I made my layout tour video a few months back. And I was talking about, oh, I love my layout. Check it out. This is such a cool layout. Everyone seemed to love the video. And I felt bad because in the video, I mentioned that I was going to be doing an expansion really soon. And then in the next video, I'm like, hey, guess what, guys? There was some plywood in the background. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did half this video and there's plywood in the background. And I'm doing this expansion real soon, guys. It's going to be great. But I went to the hardware store and I priced out lumber. And I got very scared. Southern California, yeah. Lumber prices are insane. Yeah, track is nuts though. Any kind of supplies I find have just skyrocketed. When I first got into the hobby, I bought track, and it was I don't even remember. It was like $1.50 for a 30-inch piece of flex track in N scale, and now it's like I don't even want to know, but it's well over $3 at least. Just before I made my video about my layout and talking about the expansion and everything, I bought a box of track from a guy for pretty cheap. It actually worked out to be like 50 cents a length or something like that. So I have a decent amount of track. It's just the problem that I'm finding right now is that turnouts are so expensive. I cannot find a good deal on Pico and scale turnouts anywhere. And without shows, you can't find them used because that just doesn't happen anymore. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just have to lay a loop and then just hope for the best. And then one day I'll start to add turnouts as I can find them. $3 to $4 for N-scale flex track in hobby stores, but Amazon sells it for $20 a strip. That's what's insane is people are buying it and then they're marking it up and selling it on Amazon. Like, I saw one Pico N-scale turnout on Amazon for like $45. That's just absolute highway robbery, if you ask me. But hey, we're addicted to the hobby, and we gotta build bigger and better and faster and stronger and all that stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. I mean, a part of me wants to buy and then sell on Amazon. I could make a killing, but I don't want to do that to anybody. It's unethical, in my opinion. But hey, people do it. They see the need. I mean, turnouts are about $30 in the store. And see, even that's crazy, because remember, like, turnouts used to be so cheap. Not like almost free, but they were way cheaper than $30 a piece. And I mean, do yourself a favor, Kevin, and give me a rough estimate of how many turnouts are on your layout. If you were to start fresh, how many would you need to buy at $30 a pop? And you see how many times that went around before it hit that dead spot again? I don't understand it. 268 turnouts on your layout. And that's not an exaggeration. So, quick math. Who's quick at math? It's $8,000. I bet you didn't want to know that. Oh, man. Have you ever done that math before, Kev? It's a scary thing when you start to do the math that's involved. But yeah, No, you didn't pay $30 for them though. That's the thing. I remember the shows used to be amazing because you could go to the shows and people were selling boxes of turnouts and boxes of track, and they'd expect to sell one or two here, one or two there, and every single time we would go up to them and say, "How much for the box?" And they'd always look at us so dumbfounded. But I remember the one time when we went to a show on the Saturday. This guy was selling a huge box of track. It was way more than like the average box of track that you buy in the stores. It was like an accumulation of several boxes all in one. And you said, "How much for the box?" And the guy was shocked, like he didn't know what to say, but he sold you the box, and then you and a friend of ours and myself, we went home to your house that night, and we laid a 5-track yard with a double main and passing sidings that's 30 feet long, all in one night, and then went back the next day with pictures to show the guy at the show. Oh, I've uncoupled again. There we go.
Can I have this thing?
Yeah, you can have it. Just don't swing it around, please. But yeah, the guy that was selling the track, he was just shocked. He's like, "That's the track that you bought from me? It was all laid. 30-foot yard, 5 tracks deep with passing sidings and a double main line." Some people add up my cars and engines. Yeah, no, I don't like to do the math involved because it's an accumulation over time, and at least for me, at least for me, I like to shop the sales. I like to find stuff used. I like to find stuff like good used, not like beaten down or anything like that. And I like to find stuff that's maybe on sale or clearance or whatever, and I make it work. And I don't have a lot of rolling stock, and that's part of the reason why, is because it's hard to find good stuff used. And then some of the stuff, when I do find a good deal, I end up reselling it after I've graffitied it and stuff, right? So I don't have a ton of stuff, but when people look at it and then they do the retail calculations and they figure out how much you actually have, it's a pretty frightening number a lot of times. Yeah, that's another thing we've done. Well, you've done. I just helped lift. You buy an old layout, you keep the stuff, keep everything that you want, and then you sell everything that you don't want. Kind of a pro tip. Always check the consignment sections at train stores, and I never see N scale there. No, the thing about N scale is because yeah, the little one in the background, that's my son. He's in charge of this whole operation. But no, the thing about N scale is that over the past, like if you go back 10 years, maybe 15 years or so, the detail in N scale was nowhere near what it is today. And so not a lot of people were into it. And then now anybody that is into it is not willing to part with what they have because it's hard to come by. It's way less readily available than, say, HO. Like, HO has had good quality stuff for quite some time, and it's a lot easier to find good stuff. Whereas the old N-scale stuff is just junk, in my opinion anyway. It's like, it just doesn't work. I have some stuff from when I was first starting out, and it's just kind of there. I don't run it, but it's not, and that's the kind of stuff that you see used at shows and stuff. You see all the model power, and you see all the Bachmann, and I mean, I have nothing against Bachmann now, but the old Bachmann stuff is just trash, in my opinion. Yeah, N-scale did not used to run that well at all. It was not great. And the funny thing about N scale is not very forgiving. Because everything's so light, but still so powerful. If you get the slightest derailment, half your train will fall over on its side. Sometimes, it's not fun. I've had some instances where a car will pick a switch, and then it'll start to shake, and then all of a sudden it'll just topple over, and it's like a domino effect. The whole rest of the train behind it will fall over onto its side, and it's not fun. N-scale via F40s. 90% of N-scale via F40s are just repainted Amtrak. Yeah, I've never been much of a via guy. I've thought about getting a via train, but I don't know. Again, I run into that issue where the cars are so long, and I have to widen my curves to be able to accommodate the longer freight cars. And how long are via cars? I don't even know. And then you got to put train stations everywhere, and I don't know. It's a lot of work. I tend to just stick to my industries and my freight and call it a day. So this live is kind of just a test. Just want to test the waters, see how everyone is liking a live from me. If I even have any kind of an audience that will watch on a Monday afternoon with no warning. I mean, I got 10 people here. That's pretty cool. And it's not even like I'm doing much. I'm just running a train around and around and talking to you guys. Do I ever switch the middle? See, I want to. I have a few turnouts that need a little bit of help. Like they're a bit sticky, and I gotta fix them up. I have switched it. That was my full intention, but a lot of times I find myself, just because I'm by myself, I find myself just running it around and watching it go. I'll switch it a little bit just for fun, but I've never really done like full operations on it. What I plan on doing when I have the expansion is I plan on doing a lot more switching, because I'll have places to go. Like right now, I can switch the cars and then go around it several times and then switch them again, which is fun. But it's a lot more fun if you can pick up a car on this end of the layout and take it to the other end of the layout. And with some warning, I might get more people. That's true. I do plan on doing lives more often and more regularly. The issue I'm having is I find a lot of different channels go live, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Like, I know, for example, there's Hillbilly Railroad that does his live on Wednesdays. And then you've got all the guys from Third Rail Thursday. You got M&M Rails, Dave Co., and Go Via or Go Home that go live on their corresponding Thursdays. But I do want to go live a lot more regular. What I'm thinking is probably about twice a month. Just go live and just work on some trains and talk to you guys. This was kind of just a test to see if anybody will watch, and also because I felt like running trains, and that might happen too, where it might not be a scheduled thing, but I just feel like, let's just include you guys in whatever it is that I'm doing down here, whether it's running trains or graffitiing or laying track or doing scenery or anything really. Just to kind of, because otherwise, I got no one to talk to. Bye, Karen. Otherwise, I got no one to talk to. I got Teo down here, and he's a good help. But he's not going to be able to help me figure out this curve. That's where I can consult the panel of experts, And then, Kevin, the other issue with the middle right now is I've dropped a few feeders. Since I moved the layout, some of the feeders have come loose. So I have to do some rewiring because a lot of the tracks are dead. Is the test successful? I would say. I mean, I was full on expecting to just go live and just watch the train go around for 10-15 minutes and no one came on. That's a full possibility, but I'm grateful for the people that came on, and yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna go live. I'm having fun. Hey, Mark, I just shouted you out. You missed it. M&M Rails. This guy has a really cool channel, and he's part of the third Rail Thursday. You guys probably already know him. He's way more of a celebrity in the YouTube model railroad community. But yeah, shout out to Mark from M&M Rails. Third Rail Thursday, every single Thursday. I forget the order, but I think it's Dave, and then Chris, and then Mark, if I'm not mistaken. And then you guys meet all together on the fourth Thursday of every month. When did I start? I started at about 10 after 12. No real scheduled run or anything like that. I just thought, why not just jump on here and see if anybody's interested in watching my train go around. It seems you guys are. How's it going, Scott? Mr. Hillbilly Scott. Just thought I'd make my train go around, see if you guys can get dizzy. No, in all reality, for those of you just joining, I wanted to see how you guys would take a live from me at random times, and also I wanted to discuss how I'm going to do my expansion, because some of my curves on my existing piece are a little too tight to run my reefers and the potential auto racks that I would like to purchase. So I'm gonna have to do some major reconstructive surgery to this layout in the next little bit. Thanks, man. I'm quite fond of it myself. It's been a long time, and it's not perfect. There's some kinks that I gotta iron out, but that's what this hobby is, right? The track work is 10 years old, and I was pretty terrible when I first started out. I didn't know a single thing, and I just went for it. I've actually laid the main line 3 times. And each time has gotten progressively better. And now I'm thinking of completely redoing the main line again. But I'm not sure. I think probably about 60% of the main line is going to get redone with the expansion. But we'll see. That's ambitious. The layout is, I'm just noticing, my layout's actually a bit of a mess. It's kind of a dumping ground sometimes. I've got well cars every... Let me clean it up for you guys. Got well cars here. I just missed the opportunity. Dave Co was in for just a second. He popped in for a minute to say hi. And I was trying to sell him my CP. This is my CP fleet. This is the first engine I ever bought, was a CP, because I didn't know any better, and I didn't realize that CN was so much better. So I bought a CP. I ran it for a little bit, and then I realized how much cooler CN is, and I started buying CN. I also bought this one at the same time too, because it was cheap. But it doesn't run. I just weathered it. R.I.P. Dave Cole. He's not gone. He just had to go back to work. Now I'm starting something. It's already started. There's two constant rivalries. There's the HON scale, and then there's the CNCP. And I'm only poking fun at CP because I know that Mark is here, and he would side with me on CN being so great. And Dave Co is the only CP guy out of the three of them, and for some reason he refuses to switch. This is a placeholder building, and it goes right there. This is actually, whoops, no, it goes right there. That's actually a building I made out of mat board as a placeholder. I have the kit that's supposed to go there, but I haven't built it yet. Sorry about that. This one here I want to weather soon, but I gotta get it running again. It's been sitting for a long time, so it's pretty tired. But I gotta get this guy running again and then weather it. You don't see too many blue CN locomotives, so I had to have that. As soon as I saw it in the store, I'm like, yeah, that's mine now. No, it wasn't a dead battery, Mark. It was my camera's just idling. It's not actually filming recording anything. It's just sending a signal to my computer, and it times out every half hour. Don't do that, please. It times out every half hour. It's kind of frustrating, but I should be more on top of it and just kind of wake it up before it times out, but it's all good. Yeah, that would be cool. Let's get Dave something smaller though, cuz his curves are tight. Let's get him a GP38. But let's get him a really nice one with sound and lights and all of that. Make it real nice. Thanks, buddy. When I was doing the scenery, I used a product. I didn't actually use Woodland Scenics turf. I actually used a product called Flock and Turf. And I love saying it. It's so much fun to say. Flock and Turf. And the reason I used it is because it comes in a blend as it is. And so I got a fine mix, and then I got a coarse mix. And even the really coarse stuff comes with like little twigs and stuff in it. So it does a lot of the work for you when it comes to blending scenery and stuff. But what I want to do is I want to add a lot more more wildness to the scenery, because a lot of the areas are away from civilization, and you would typically see a lot more like weeds and like stuff like that. It wouldn't be like manicured lawns or anything, but that'll come with time. I actually want to get my hands on a static grass applicator and give that a try. I've never used one before, but the results are amazing when you do use them. Now with N scale, obviously I'm going to have to use something a lot finer. I'm going to have to use like the smallest stuff I can get my hands on, but it just looks amazing. I love it. S scale. Yeah, remember you wanted to get into S scale at the start because that is Hot Wheels scale, or 1/64th scale, but it's not readily available. But that would have been cool because you have a ton of 1/64th scale cars. And yes, Flock and Turf is amazing. If you guys have never used it, give it a shot sometime. It's pretty great. I don't know how readily available it is. We used to have a guy that came to all the shows that sold it. So I've had it kicking around for years, and I haven't run out because my layout's not that big. But I don't even know where I would find it now. I've never checked on Amazon or anything like that. I think a lot of like the Warhammer guys use it. So I think it's more readily available in like stores, in hobby stores that have both trains and tabletop gaming. So when you have your woodland scenic stuff, which this is the fine turf. It's great. I use it for trees and stuff like that. And I would use it for scenery as well, but obviously you need to buy several different kinds to get a good blend. It's pretty decent stuff, but then in the same what's the word I'm looking for? Viscosity? the same level of fineness. They have this stuff. This is the Flock and Turf, and it's just a grass turf blend. And you can see when you look at it. I don't know if it's not going to show up on camera, is it? I'm looking at my computer screen, and there's a delay in what I'm showing you, but you can kind of see there's a few different variations of colors within the green. And then they have a coarse one as well. And I have the fine and the medium. The medium is plenty coarse enough for N scale, but then my brother also has the coarse, I believe, and it has like rocks and twigs and all kinds of stuff in it. It's pretty cool stuff. Credit Valley has it. Interesting. I haven't been to Credit Valley in so long. I should go back there. They're not far from me. Oh, sorry. F40. Yeah, Credit Valley is pretty great. We should go there together sometime. You want to sit here? Yeah. Okay. You can sit there.
No, I'm gonna turn off this.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so it's been about an hour. I don't know if you guys are still interested in watching this train go around, but I'm having fun. I think I am going to sign off, though, because my son here, Mr. Teo, is going to do a video about my layout for my wife's channel, Couch Mom Club. So every Tuesday on her channel, we do an activity with the kids. And lately, Teo has been starting to host the video on his own, and kind of taking the reins a little bit as far as what we do, what the video is about, and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. It's less less work for us, and it's a lot of fun. So this week we're gonna do a video about my layout, and that'll be a bit of a crossover between the two channels, which is kind of cool, seeing as the two channels are not anywhere close in niche, but it's fun to do a crossover nonetheless. So I'm gonna jump off, and we'll film the video, and tomorrow at 11 o'clock that video will be on my wife's channel, Couch Mom Club, if you want to check it out. She would greatly appreciate a subscription and any kind of commenting or anything that you want to do on her channel as well. It's kind of her baby, and she's doing great things with it, and I'll need to post it. Yeah, I'll put a link to it when it's live. I'll put a link to it in this stream, and that way you can check it out. But other than that, hopefully gonna have a video out this week for you guys, doing more graffiti, more layout planning, all that kind of stuff. I don't even know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm just making things up as I go. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. It's been fun. Do it again soon, says Kevin. I will. I definitely will do this again. I want to be more regular with my streams because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, take it easy, stay safe, and all that jazz. And remember, they make it like that.